despite the hurt, despite the storms, despite the rain, despite folk leaving you, despite folk talking about you, God still loved you. And because he lives, how many know you can live? Because he shed his blood just for you, you can make it. I believe it's important that we start thanking God, not for what he has done for us, cars and houses and money in our pocket. But I believe it's even important to start thanking God for the trials and the tribulations that you've gone through. Because there ought to be somebody in here that can testify that if I never had a problem, I would not know that God could solve them. I wouldn't know what faith in God could do. But through it all, I learned how to trust him. Through it all, I learned how to lean on him. Through it all, I learned how to depend on him. Not too long ago, my son and I were involved in a car accident. A car came out of nowhere and sideswiped me and hit me right on the driver's door. And because of that accident, I felt pain. And the crazy thing is, this isn't the first time that the enemy tried to kill me. Somebody in here knows what I'm talking about. And it wasn't very big, but I had a scar right here. It wasn't very big, a bruise, a scar. But I believe that you have to start thanking God for the scars. Because it is a testimony that you survived the crash. Let me see if I can make it live for you. There was an article not too long ago, several years back actually, in the newspaper where a little boy down in Florida was in his backyard swimming in the swimming pool. And as many of you all know, there are alligators down in Florida. An alligator got into the swimming pool. And the story said that the father saw the alligator before the boy could, and the father went and grabbed the boy by the arm. But right when he was grabbing the boy by the arm, the alligator grabbed the little boy by the foot. And so here it is, they're in a tug and war because the enemy is trying to kill him. Anybody know what I'm talking about? The good news is, the article said, the boy lived. But during the struggle, the alligator went into what they call a death roll. That's when the alligator turns its body and literally rips the limb off of its prey. The boy lived, but he lost a part of his leg. 6 months later, he goes to the doctor for the checkup, and the doctor says, "How you doing?" He says, "I'm doing pretty good." Ask the father, "How's your son doing?" He seems to be doing pretty well. The doctor looks at the little boy and says, "Let me see your scars." The little boy says, "Do you want to see my bad scars? Or do you want to see my good scars?" doctor scratched his head and said, what do you mean? You almost lost your life. What do you mean, good scars? He said, Doc, do you want to see my bad scars? Or do you want to see my good scars? Doc said, you got my attention. What do you mean? He said, well, the bad scars are on my leg where the alligator tried to kill me. But the good scars are on my arm where my daddy reached out to save me. And I think there ought to be some worshipers in here that can testify. I got a scar, but my daddy pulled me out. I got a scar, but my daddy brought me to. Is there anybody in here that can just lift up your hands and thank God for the scars? Thank God for the pain. Anybody in here grateful? Come on, are you really grateful? Because you've been through some stuff, but God pulled you out. Your name should have been in the obituary a long time ago. Your folks should have been planning your funeral, but thanks be unto God that right in the midst of the storm, God reached out and grabbed you and pulled you. And so after you've done all you can to stand, you keep standing.